Abrams, Leopard, or Challenger? Discover where NATO's legendary tanks began and where they are headed in our complete 75-year timeline, covering all 4 generations of armored power. We begin with the first-generation M4 Sherman series. More than 50,000 of these legendary workhorses were built for Allied forces. America's Sherman fought across Europe and the Pacific, and after the war, many future NATO allies continued operating them for years. Next comes the M26 Pershing series. Arriving late in World War II, this heavy hitter soon proved its strength in Korea. Belgium and Italy fielded Pershings for NATO defense, demonstrating that American armor could stand toe-to-toe with any rival. Then we have the Centurion series. 13 NATO nations operated this legendary British tank, including Canada and Denmark. From Korea to Desert Storm, the Centurion served on battlefields for more than 4 decades around the world. Up next is the M46 Patton series. America's first Patton tank saw intense combat in Korea. Belgium and other NATO partners operated it throughout the 1950s, combining mobility and firepower into a highly capable design. Now, the M41 Walker Bulldog series. This fast reconnaissance tank served with Spain, Denmark, and several other NATO nations. It fought in Vietnam and numerous conflicts, with more than 3,000 built for scouting and rapid response missions. Here comes the M47 Patton. Over 8,000 were produced for NATO allies such as Turkey, Italy, Spain, and Germany. This tank effectively bridged the gap between World War II armor and the modern Cold War battlefield. Next is the M48 Patton series. Germany, Turkey, Spain, and Greece all relied on this NATO workhorse. It fought through the jungles of Vietnam, and its rounded hull design became iconic across 19 NATO nations. Now, the AMX-13 series. Featuring a unique oscillating turret and an autoloader, this agile French light tank impressed militaries worldwide. The Netherlands used it for NATO reconnaissance missions, while more than 3,000 served globally. Then we reached the Conqueror heavy tank series. Britain designed this massive machine to defend NATO's German border against Soviet armor. Its powerful 120mm gun could penetrate nearly any enemy tank, although only 185 units were ever built. Up next, the M103 heavy tank series. America's heaviest Cold War tank guarded NATO Europe for years. Weighing 65 tons and carrying a massive gun, it remained in service with the U.S. Marines until 1974. Second generation, 1960 to 1980. First, the M60 series. More than 15,000 were produced, forming the backbone of NATO armored forces for 3 decades. Even today, Turkey and Greece continue operating upgraded versions. From Vietnam to Desert Storm, the M60 defined Western armored strength. Next comes the Leopard 1 A1 to A4 series. 13 nations adopted this impressive German design, marking Germany's powerful return to tank manufacturing. Canada, Italy, Denmark, and the Netherlands relied heavily on the Leopard 1 throughout the Cold War. Up next is the Vickers MBT series. Britain developed this versatile export tank with simple maintenance and reliability in mind. It served alongside NATO-aligned forces across multiple regions, with more than 900 produced for international customers. Then the Chieftain series. Introduced in 1967, Britain's heavily armored tank quickly became one of NATO's most formidable vehicles. Its powerful 120mm gun dominated battlefields, while countries like Kuwait and Oman also trusted British engineering. Now, the AMX-30 series. With more than 3,000 built, this French tank prioritized speed and mobility over heavy armor. Spain and Greece relied on it extensively for NATO operations, and it remained the backbone of French armored forces for decades. Next is the Stridsvagn 103 series. Sweden's turretless tank amazed NATO observers around the world. Instead of a turret, it aimed by tilting the entire hull. Only Sweden deployed this radical, extremely low-profile fighting concept. Finally, the M60A2 Starship. America's futuristic missile tank tested bold new NATO technologies. Only 540 were built, and although its advanced systems represented a major technological leap, their complexity made maintenance extremely challenging. Generation 3.5, modernized 2000 to 2016. First, the PT-91 Twardy. Poland's upgraded tank strengthens NATO's eastern flank. More than 200 currently serve in Polish forces, equipped with explosive reactive armor and modern electronics that greatly enhance the original T-72 design. Next, the Leopard 2 A5 to A8 series. These latest German upgrades represent the core strength of NATO armored power. Advanced wedge armor and digital systems define the modern battlefield, with Finland, Norway, and Sweden now operating these variants.
Then the Stridsvagn 122. Sweden officially brought these into NATO's service in 2024. Additional roof armor provides protection against top attack weapons, and roughly 120 operate in the demanding forests and terrain of Scandinavia. Finally, the TR-85 M1 Bizonal. Romania's heavily modernized tank strengthens NATO's Black Sea defenses. Improved protection and advanced fire control systems transformed the original design into a powerful guardian of the Alliance's southeastern frontier. Now, the Challenger 2 series. Britain's armored fortress has never lost a crew member to enemy fire in combat. Around 386 serve within NATO forces today. With some of the toughest armor protection ever built, it stands among the most resilient tanks on the battlefield. Up next, the M1A2 Abrams series. America's battle-proven warrior continues to dominate NATO armored power. More than 1,500 remain in active service. Poland alone operates 250, making it a major armored force on NATO's eastern flank. Next comes the T-72 M4CZ. Czechia's deep modernization program has impressed NATO partners across the alliance. Western electronics now combined with proven Soviet reliability. 30 upgraded tanks defend Czech territory with dramatically enhanced combat systems. Now the M60T Sabra. Turkey upgraded 170 of these tanks for NATO service. New armor packages and advanced fire control systems turned the aging Patton into a formidable modern fighter. It proves that even Cold War designs can evolve into capable battlefield machines. Up next, the Leopard 2 PL. Poland modernized 142 of these tanks to strengthen NATO's eastern defenses. Improved armor protection and advanced optics keep them highly competitive. They patrol the Alliance's critical frontier alongside powerful American Abrams tanks. Next is the K2 Black Panther series. Poland plans to acquire up to 1,000 of these advanced tanks from South Korea for NATO forces. Its active suspension system handles rough terrain with remarkable stability. As NATO's first Asian-designed tank platform, it significantly strengthens Eastern European defenses. Now the C-1 Ariete AMV. Italy's modernization program ensures its main battle tanks remain relevant in today's NATO operations. Around 200 vehicles are receiving improved armor and advanced digital systems. They continue defending southern Europe alongside other alliance forces. Finally, the Leclerc XLR. France is upgrading about 200 of these advanced tanks for future NATO missions. New armor packages and network-centric warfare capabilities ensure they remain ready for modern battlefields. It continues to stand among the most technologically sophisticated tanks in the alliance. Fourth generation, future, 2025 and beyond. First, the M10 Booker. America's newest light tank is designed to support NATO's rapid deployment forces. Weighing just 38 tons, it still delivers serious firepower on the battlefield. Around 504 are currently being built to provide powerful infantry support for future operations. Now comes the KF-51 Panther. Germany's next-generation concept could dramatically reshape NATO firepower. Its massive 130mm gun represents a major leap beyond current tank weapons. Several NATO members are already studying this bold and futuristic design closely. Next is the K2 PL. Poland is customizing the Black Panther specifically for NATO's eastern frontier. Additional armor and Polish-built technology enhance its combat effectiveness. These tanks are becoming a central part of Poland's massive military buildup along the alliance's borders. Up next, the Challenger 3. Britain is transforming existing Challenger 2 tanks into this powerful next-generation version. A completely new turret and smoothbore gun dramatically upgrade its combat capability. Around 148 are expected to begin guarding NATO territory starting in 2027. Now the AbramsX, America's experimental concept, could redefine the future of NATO armored warfare. Hybrid power systems and an unmanned turret reduce weight while increasing efficiency. The U.S. Army is currently testing technologies that could completely transform Alliance tank design. Finally, the MGCS, Main Ground Combat System. France and Germany are developing this ambitious project to eventually replace the Leopard 2 and Leclerc across NATO forces. Rather than a traditional tank, it will function as a fully networked combat system. Entry into service is expected in the 2040s, marking the next evolution of armored warfare for the Alliance.